this is our last module in the MVC which we have completed in the using JDBC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So firstly, what I am just executing this code. Firstly, we have matched the user ID and password from the database, and after successful login, okay, there is a two link: create new account, employee account. So we have insert record from this here, and in the view all account, we are fetching the record from the database, and here two operation: delete and update. Okay, now we are converting the same code into the Hibernate. Okay. So first page is an index.html, is a login form. Here when we submitting the user ID and password, then execution will come into the login servlet. So login I will do later. Firstly, I am starting from the create account. So this is a create account.jsp in which we already designed this form, and when we submitting this record, then execution will be going into the insert emp.java servlet. In the insert emp.java, we retrieve all the values from the HTML form using request.getParameter method, this one, and here we have created one bean class, emp bean. Now this emp bean will work as a POJO class in Hibernate. Okay, so here we created one empty one new fresh object of emp bean. Then we initialize this object using setter method with these values which is coming from HTML form. And after that we have created one model class, and model class containing one register emp function, and we pass this employee object into the model form register emp function. So this object is retrieved into the register emp form here, emp bean, and here we write the code of JDBC, and we retrieve the values from this object and using getter method, and we just execute the prepare statement. Now I'm commenting the whole JDBC code and writing here Hibernate code. So for Hibernate, we need to firstly copy and paste all these libraries. Zar, copy, and we need to paste in the lib directory. Okay. This is the first step. Then we need to copy and paste one more file. This is that is a Hibernate configurations.xml file into the SRC package, source package.
Uh, we need not to copy the Hibernate CFG dot CFG XML the file in this, right? Only once we can copy in this
Yeah.
also.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Only once. Once.
Okay.
Now here our bean class is already there. We've already created in the MVC. This is emp bean. So here we need to use two annotations. First one is a entity on the class level, and second one is the ID for primary key, and we need to import the JavaX package for both. Two table is already there. EMP drop table. Two table is there. EMP and login. And here corresponding to this EMP bean, EMP table is there, which is already present in the database. So I will not create a new table. So I'm writing a table annotation here at the rate table name of table first to EMP, which is already present in our database. This one. Okay. Now second thing is we need to do, firstly we have created all the, we have added all these R file in the lib folder. Second, we need to place the hibernate.confusion file in XML in the SRC package. Third, we need to use annotations in the bean class. Fourth, we need to write one entry into the hibernate confusion file. What is your mapping file is there. So we need to mention map resources here. Mapping class is present in the beans. Class name is EMP bean. This class. Second, database is already there. There is my database name is first DB. So here we need to mention first DB. And HBM to DDL is update. Table is already there, so no need to create once again. I don't have the password in MySQL, so just left blank. Now this is completed. Now in the model class, here we need to write all the Hibernate code, session factory. So firstly, we need to create object of session factory. Import all the package which is started from org.hibernate. Build session factory. Then session factory dot open session. Then we are going to save the record. That's why transaction object is used. So if you do the DML operation, insert, update, and delete, then we need to create transaction object. In case of select, no need to create the transaction object. Session dot begin transaction. And here transaction class is present in two packages, JavaX and one more. So we need to import the org.hibernate package for every class and interface. Okay. Now at last we need to commit the transaction and close the session. We can also close the session factory here. So here we will save this object employee bean, which is coming from the servlet, our controller. So the return type of this function is integer. Okay. So session dot save. In the JSP we need to execute this getter method and be retrieving the data and passing into the prepare statement. But here we generally save this ORM mapping. We need to just save the object. Then it will return obviously if O is not equals to null, return some values. So if O is not equals to null, then X equals to 1. And here we are returning X integer is the return type of this function. So it will return 1 if data is successfully inserted. Oh, what is the problem?
There begin transaction you need to semicolon.
Yes, semicolon is there. Okay, so this completed. Now Okay, data inserted. Yeah, this is the last record. Now data is inserted. Now on the home page, second operation is view all accounts. So here we need this page is view all account.jsp. Here we are retrieving the data from the database. View all account. So in this view all account, with what could we I'll already write here. We created one more function in the model class, view all records. It returning all the record here. So here we created the array list, and we fired the query select star from empty. Then when loop is executed while as.next, then it created a new object and initialize this object and add this object into the array list. So at last it returned the array list. Okay. So instead of writing this code, we are replacing this code with Hibernate. Same code we need to write here. Session factory. Session factory session is same. Here we want to fetch all the record from database, and we want to add into the array list. So criteria is the best option for doing this. So we need to create the object of criteria. CP equals to session dot create criteria, and here we need to mention the class name. We want to fetch the record from emp bean class. And need to import the package org.hibernate. Okay. After that, we will say simply ct.list method is there that automatically return the record, return the array list object. So here we will catch this list into the AR. We need to do the casting array list with the values of generic is there, emp bean object is there. It will return emp bean object. Okay. So this 4 line replacing this all line in the JDBC. So criteria directly return when we invoking the list method, then it will automatically return all the records from this bean class and return into the array list. Now let's check this code. Control on, okay. Code is there, count.close. Yeah, same output. Okay, so this is that clear how to retrieve the record?
Yes.
We just write the criteria here. Now in the delete, now next operation is delete. When we click on this delete link, then it will open the delete emp.jsp page. Here we just retrieve the values of emp id and just invoking one function, that is delete record, and passing that id. So delete record, this is the function. Here we just passing the id into the where conditions of delete query. Instead of writing this code again, we can write the HQL statement. Session factory, again DL operation is there, so we need to create object of transaction. So as per HQL query, string HQL will be delete from emp bean where instance variable name is eid. Eid is there. Okay. So eid equals to temporary variable a. Then we need to create object of query, session dot create query. I need to pass the HQL here. and query is not completed because one temporary variable is there, a, so we need to pass the values of this temporary variable. Set integer, id is an integer, that's why set integer method is there, and a is a variable name, and integer dot parseInt, because eid is coming from the JSP page in the form of string, so we need to convert into the integer eid. Okay. So query is completed. Now we can execute this query. Execute update method is there. Equals to DML operation, execute update method is there. Yeah. Yeah, code is completed. Same, it return type of this function is integer. So if I successfully deleted the record, then it will return 1. Now I'm deleting this last record. Write the delete query here. Yeah, record is deleted. Okay. So HQL query we have right here. Now updations. In the update link, we have opened another JSP page, and I want to update this record. Okay, so I will retrieve this all data into the update.jsp. So when I click here, then it will retrieve all the data from the database, and this field form is there. So it invoking the update.jsp and one ID, just like as a we do into the delete.jsp. We are fetching the employee ID. In the same way, here we are fetching the employee ID from hyperlink, and in this update emp.jsp page is there. So update emp. Here update emp, we just retrieve the employee ID and passing this employee ID into the get record methods, and this get record method returning the employee bean. Here it returning only single record because we are showing only single record, so no return type of array is there. Employee bean is a return of this return type of this method get record. Okay, get record is there. So again replacing this code with Hibernate. So here we need to return the employee bean, means one record which employee ID is coming from the JSP page. So again criteria we can use. Criteria equals to criteria, and bean class name emp bean dot class, and here we need to add the restriction because we don't want to fetch all the record. I want to fetch only single record whose ID is EID, which is present in the EID. So criteria dot add restriction restrictions dot EQ. For comparison, EQ is there, and here we need to mention properties name EID, and here the value which is coming from functions HTML page, JSP page, EID, and teaser dot parseInt. EID is an integer, that's why we need to convert into the integer EID. Okay, so this restriction is completed. Now we executing this code, so it will return list. Okay, it will return the list equals to criteria dot list method. Obviously it will return only single object because we provide the where condition here. So we need to, and return type we have import the wrong package to delete list. Okay, actually list is present in many packages, so we need to import a util package. Okay, list belongs to util package. Okay, so in list obviously it will return only single object because we pass the employee ID in the where condition. So using this list get method is there, and this list only one object present in this list at the 0th index. So we will get the values from 0th index, and mm, P, P, okay. And this E is initialized. And return type of this function is emp bin. So here we are returning this E at the last. Okay. So fetching the record of this means matching with this condition where EID equals to this, which is we are catching from the JSP page, and passing to the where condition of this criteria, and it returning the list, and we just fetching. Obviously we providing the where condition here, so it will return only single rows from the table. So that object will be come into the list. So and that obviously list to maintaining the array in the data as a data structure as we learn in the collection framework. So we will retrieve the 0th index value. So it will return the object, and here we return the emp bin, the last. Now let's see it's working or not. So when we click on the update, yeah, it's fetching the record from, and query become select this one. So we never write any SQL query here, then it will automatically convert the SQL statement corresponding to criteria. Now record is coming here in this form. Now when we update this record, hello my address, and when I submit update, now so record is coming from this emp bin, and here we are displaying into the corresponding components using getter method. Now when we submit this form, means when we place on the update button, then it will be going to the update emp. This is a controller of our this controller servlet update emp. Here just like insert record, we just fetching all the record from the table HTML form, and created a new employee bean object, initialize this bean, and again model class 1 function is invoked here, update emp, and passing this employee object here. So update emp, this is, and here we need to do the again session factory or this code. And we want to update this record, okay, emp bin E. So there is an update function just like a save, so we can directly, instead of writing HQL statement, we can directly update the record. But update function doesn't have any return type. Why it is a return type? So it will not return any values. We will just write the initialize the X variable here with 1. Means if update the record, the value will be 1, and we returning the 1 from this function. Great. Let's see. Okay. So in the 7876, I have changed the address. Hello, my address is there. Yes, 76 is hello, my address. Okay. So here we can also call the delete function as we already gone through. Save, update, and delete. 3 function is there. Object. Okay. So all these operations completed. Delete, update. Now last one is a login. Okay. So in the login, right now here we have write the code of login. It's a JDBC code. Select start from login. Okay. So here we want to create another bean, because for user ID we are matching the user ID password with another table. EMP table doesn't contain user ID and password, so our another table is login table. So for every table we need to create separate bean class, okay, in our project. So I need to create one more bean class, that is login bean. Login bean. And 2 instance variable, user ID, UID, and password. And this is user ID @ID annotation @entity, and one more in our database table name is emp login. So @table name equals to login. Okay. And we need to import all the packages. Okay. So this is our another bean program, and we have write entity and ID here. So we need to do entry in the hibernate.cfg.xml. We need to copy and paste this line and just do the mapping of login bean also. So every bean class must have entry in this configuration file, login bean. Okay. Now in the model class where we are matching the user ID and password here, we need to do the session factory. Session factory, then user and password coming from the controller servlet. So criteria, again criteria we can use. No need to use transaction. Criteria equals to session dot create criteria, and here name of bean login bean dot class. Now we need to add restriction here because we want to match user ID and password. Ct dot add restriction dot eq. First property name is UID and value is UID, which is coming from controller UID. The same way we need to pass the password. Second instance variable name is password in the login bean class. Password and value is pwd, which is coming from controller. Okay, both values will be passed, so it works as a AND operation. Okay. Now to execute this criteria, ct.list method. Then obviously if it matching the record, then it will return some record into this list object, list L. So we just need to check here list is empty or not. Is empty method is there, and if list is not empty means it matches the user ID and password. Just like in the JDBC code which we have done, if results at .next will return true value if it found the record in the database, and value of x become 1. In the same manner, if list is not empty, we write the not operator here. So list is not empty, then value of x will be 1 from 0, and it returning the x value. So value of x is 1, then login success. Okay, so I think code is completed. Yes, let's check. Okay, login success. So admin is our user ID and password. One more password, Nitin. Let's check. Nitin. Yeah, welcome. Nitin is there. Okay, so in this manner you can write all these operations in your code. And why we are learning Hibernate? So the advantage of what is difference? Yeah, you tell me what is the difference between Hibernate and JDBC?
We can update directly from the session.
Wow. No. Yeah, we can update using JDBC also. What is the benefit of using Hibernate over JDBC?
I mean,
Yeah,
without
less
SQL.
code is there.
Yeah, less code.
We can
Without
say that,
using SQL, we can write directly.
yeah,
With
without
SQL.
using it. Not JDBC is totally dependent on native SQL, means
Yes.
SQL statement, and Hibernate is purely object-oriented language. So we need to perform all the operation into the bean class.
Okay.
Second one, database independent.
Yes.
Okay, the SQL independent and database independent. So if you want to change if you want to change this application's database from MySQL to Oracle, then you need to change into the driver name. You need to change. Okay, and this connection string you need to change, means you need to disturb the .java file. or .jsp file. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
when we perform any single changes into the .java and .jsp file, that time our website will be loaded here. Okay, if somebody a developer do the changes into the .java and JSP file, then obviously that time your URL, means your web browser, will be loaded, means page will compile again if you, because you have done changes in the page. But in case of Hibernate, if you want to switch the migrate the database from MySQL to Oracle, then you don't need to change any Java file or JSP file. We need to do the changes in configuration file. Here we need to do changes. Okay, is two line and user ID and password and dialect. Okay, so when we do changes into the XML file, then it will never compile. It doesn't compile, and our website is automatically migrate to the MySQL to the Oracle. This means first reason, first difference between JDBC and Hibernate is database independent and SQL independent. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's over, it's completed. Now thing is,
Do you have any interview
yes.
questions for the total JDBC, Hibernate, and Java, code Java, other
Uh,
than what you said? I mean, any sample?
No, actually, I don't have any. I don't have any. But I just, you go to the Google and just
Oh,
try to find the no special and yeah, I mean it's completed over at what I.
okay.
Okay, so if you just try to do this model project at yourself, don't copy and paste. Just try to write the
Yeah,
code as yourself. If you okay, you if you forget the syntax, then you can see the code, but don't never copy and paste the code. Okay, just try to
yeah.
build the same application at your end.
Mm-hmm.
And I am available online. We are connected with Gmail, so in
Okay.
future if you get any problems, then you can contact me.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm. Do you have anything on Angular JS or something like that? Any sessions or something?
AngularJS. Actually, I never give the training in AngularJS. I know the AngularJS.
Okay.
Uh, just try to learn yourself. Like, I think
Yeah.
after learning this Java content, you can learn anything. Okay,
Okay.
at with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got any problem, if you have any doubt in AngularJS, then you can ask me.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Thank you.